Go live. Boom. Boom. Oh yeah, we gonna get this one clean too. Bow. Come on. And for the YouTube, for the IG, we live, we see. Peace and love, kings, queens, and gods. Come on in, invite a friend. Matter of fact, invite about 10, because it's the Floating Yogis Book Club, and we about to go in. So I'm going to give y'all a few moments just to, like I said, invite some people. Come, bring them on through. Let them know what to do. Let them know we talking about mindset and ways to enhance ours, ways to change the way we think about ourselves, ways to release those limiting beliefs that we didn't even know that we had. Time, space, and opportunity. Are you taking advantage is the question. Hey, y'all flowing on in. What's good, Chris? What's up, Brent? Bright Morning Star Yoga. I ain't seen you in a minute. Welcome. If you want to be part of the Zoom room, if you want to be part of the Zoom room, boom, add as moderator, confirm. If you want to be part of the Zoom room, my guy Payoga, one of the people who helped me be me, helped me do what I do, my guy DJ Tony Payoga, he's part of the crew, a dimension where people are our greatest resource, and that's exactly what I'm using him for right now. Utilizing, as I like to say. And I encourage you to do the same. If you need daily meditation, accountability, a reminder, if you need some type of social networking, this guy's got you covered. Daily affirmations. I mean, come on now. Just hit him up, make it do what it do. Also, we got my guy Brent LV. If you check out my YouTube, check out the website, the seamless integration, the smoothness, even the digital content created by Brent LV. I encourage you to check him out as well and to tap into some of these resources. I'm telling you, people are our greatest resource. What else is there? There's a bunch going on, y'all. There's a bunch going on. But I'd like to thank Lifeform. Yeah, Lifeform yoga mats. Where is it? Where's Jumi's mat? She must have moved it somewhere. Tarnations, she did. However, I love their mats. I highly encourage you to check them out. They also have the small handstand ones where you can use for your hands, or also provide a little bit more cushion for the knees. Those are great. The slip resistance is chef's kiss. Like, it's what I use. And I didn't have to be paid to tell y'all about this. I didn't, I was saying it well before, but now that they paying me, I'm gonna make sure y'all know what's going on. Alright, so what else we got? We got UE, Urban Yogic Wellness and Education, where we're restructuring health and wellness in the community, one healthy habit at a time, bringing the power of healing and evolution back to the individual's hands. Now that we got the sponsors out the way, now we got the power people out the way, it's time to do some stuff to empower us a little bit, to read the book. And we are still reading Mindset by Carol Dweck. And we're going to do a little jumping around, a little hopping around. Just a splash. The week before we were talking about what is success, how do we define success? And then we were talking about character. That's one way to keep success. Once we achieve success, maybe it's through maybe it's through like the lotto. Great. Maybe it's through the hard work, the toiling away at whatever craft you have that you're working on. But whatever it may be. Alright, we're on page, here in the mindsets, we're on page 105. Yeah. Alright, 105 if you're with us. I need to turn this fan on. Ooh. Because it's hot in here. Y'all can see it. Can y'all see that? Nope. It's moving too fast. Awesome. Because it looks like a Freddy Krueger scene in here.
Is the light flashing?
The light is flashing in here.
I knew it.
But if y'all can't see it, we just going to keep it moving. It is what it is. It looks like a straight up Halloween movie in here. It feels like it for me. Okay, you can already hear the mindset in young athletes. Listen for them. In 2004, Isis Tillis is a college basketball star, a 6'5" forward from Duke University women's basketball team. She has a picture of her father, James Quick Tillis, taped to her locker as a motivator. But the picture is not a tribute, says sports writer Viv Bernstein. It is a reminder of all Tillis hopes she will never be. Ooh. Yeah, that's interesting. Quick Tillis was a contender for the 1980s. In 81, he boxed for the world heavyweight title. In 85, he was in the movie The Color Purple as a boxer. In 86, he was the first boxer to go the distance, 10 rounds, with Mike Tyson. But he never made it to the top. Isis Tillis, who was a senior, says, "This is the year to win the national championship. I just feel like I'd be such a failure. I feel like I'm regressing back and going to end up like my dad, a nobody." Ow. I mean, he wasn't a nobody. He went 10 rounds with Mike Tyson. I doubt him doing one. What? Neither here nor there. Tillis's anger at her father may be justified. He abandoned her as a child. Well, there we go. But this thinking is getting in our way. Ooh, I like this. Perhaps nobody else has that combination of size, skill, quickness, and vision in the women's college game, says Bernstein. Yet a few would rate Tillis ahead of the top 2 players in the country. Connecticut's Diana and Duke's Elena Beard. Tillis's performance often fails to match her ability. Ouch. It's like you're holding on to the idea that your dad wasn't good enough and it's kind of holding you back. Ooh, let's go, woman. She's frustrated that people have high expectations for her and want her to play better. Oh, that's real. I feel like I have to come out and have a triple-double, double digits in points scored, rebounds, and assists, dunking the ball over the head, 360, leave your feet, turn around, and in the air and slam the ball in the basket. And maybe people will like me. Oh, she's not that bad. I don't think people want the impossible. I think they just want to see her use her wonderful talent to the utmost. I think they want her to develop skills that she needs to reach her goal. Worrying about being a nobody is not the mindset that motivates and sustains champions. That part. Because that's immediately going to bring in the fear of failure.
Alright, but I feel like there's exceptions to every rule.
Talk to me.
I feel like, and the thing is, I'm jumping out on a limb here because I don't have any examples off the top of my head, but I just feel like there's been at least one boxer or wrestler or somebody who's been like, one top of the game athlete that's been like, I'm afraid to lose. I work so hard every day because ain't no way I'm going to lose again. The last time I lost, I decided it was my last. And I worked hard ever since. There's got to be at least one of those out there.
I hear you. And there might be. And there's no way to prove this either way, your way or my idea. However, I do believe that mindset would get them to pick contenders that aren't really going to truly push them to their limits. That's all.
You think that?
Because I've seen it. I've seen people who are good at something, and I'm just getting okay at it, but they won't challenge me because they see the potential that I have, or kind of like a wild card. They just didn't want to lose, so then they choose someone that they can actually beat. I even see it on pool on Monday nights. And it's not everybody. So when you said it, I'm like, nah. I can see that somebody could be like, nah, I lost. Let me use each loss as a lesson.
Yeah, I can see that.
Truly use each loss as a lesson. And then I can see them, I can truly see someone going hard and them being like phenomenal at what they do. That's why I'm like, yeah, I feel you. However, for the mass majority, the fear of failure, it could push you for a little bit, but I hope the failure don't break you. Or we were talking before, not a failure, but like that L that you took that you turned into a blessing because you learned something from the lesson. You know what I mean? That might shake them. Jordan versus the Detroit Pistons. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I like that response because I don't know nothing about basketball. I was too busy worrying about golf at that time. What else was I doing? Golf and probably Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon or Magic the Gathering or Final Fantasy 11. One of those strategy situations I was immersed in. Basketball, it did what it did. It was on TV. They played too many games. That and baseball played far too many games for me to keep up with. Yo,
they played too many games.
Yo, how many games do baseball players play? It'd be like 100-some games, bruh. I'm not watching 100. That means I have to watch one every 2 days. I'm good. I was cool with.
Dog, I never knew. I thought you was joking. It's 162 games.
They play too many games. I'm not gonna watch them.
Longer than any other professional sport.
What's good, Bailey Yoga? What's
up?
It's
162 games. Wow.
162 games in a season, bruh. That's what I'm saying.
I'm
not watching 162 games. I'm barely gonna be able to watch I'm thinking about 60 games. How long are these games, bruh? Come on. There's a reason. Football was enough. I'm not gonna lie. Football, it's 4 15-minute quarters. Football is not once a week now. Check yourself, okay? Let's check it. Monday night.
You got Monday.
We got Thursday night. We got Sunday night. We got Saturday night. We got 4 days of the week. They creeping up, bruh. I remember when it was just Sunday night and then Monday. And then they hit with the Saturday. I was like, yo, okay. Then
I remember the Monday night games used to be everybody used to tune into Monday Night Football because there was only one game on Monday night. That was the one game that everybody could watch at the same time. Because, anyway, we so off topic. We so off topic.
Anyway, back to the matter at hand. But needless to say, I feel you. Worrying about being a nobody is not the mindset that motivates and sustains champions. Hard as it is, perhaps Tillis should admire the fact that her father went for it instead of being contemptuous that he didn't quite make it. That part. He tried and he got somewhere. He went 10 rounds with Mike. Again, that's something. Tyson gonna be in history. He gonna be in history for what he's done and what he's eaten. Moving forward, some bodies are not determined by whether they won or lost. Some bodies are people who go for it with all they have. If you go for it with all you have, Isis Tillis, not just in the game, but in practice too, you'll already be a somebody. I kind of support those thoughts. You're not gonna be a somebody, but you will to yourself. So maybe that is a somebody. Who knows? Here's the other mindset. It's 6'3" Candace Parker, then a 17-year-old senior at Naperville High School near Chicago, who was going to Tennessee to play for the Ladies Vols and their great coach Pat Summitt. Candace has a very different father from Isis, a dad who is teaching her different lessons. If you work hard at something, you get what you put in. I like that. Several years before, when he was a coach of her team, her dad lost his cool during a tournament game. She was not going for the rebound. She was shooting lazy shots from the outside instead of using her height near the basket. And when she was not exerting herself on defense, now let's go out and try harder. So what happened? She went out and she scored 20 points in the second half and had 10 rebounds. They blew the other team away. He lit a fire under me. And I knew he was right. Candace lights the same fire under herself now. Rather than being content to be a star, she looks to improve all the time. When she returned from knee surgery, she knew that she needed to work on. Her timing, her nerves, her wind. When her three-point shot was bad, she asked her father to come to the gym and work with her. Whether it was in basketball or everyday life, she says nothing is promised. Only 2 weeks later, with the mindset, prophecies were already coming true. Two things happened. One, sadly, is that Tillis' team was knocked out of the championship. And the other is that Candace Parker became the first woman to ever win the basketball dunking championship against 5 men. Character, heart, and mind of a champion. That's what makes a great athlete. And it's what comes from the growth mindset, with this focus on self-development, self-motivation, and responsibility. Even though the finest athletes are wildly competitive and want to be the best, greatness does not come from the ego of the fixed mindset. With its somebody, nobody syndrome, many athletes with fixed mindset may have been naturals, but you know what? As John Wooden says, we can't remember most of them. Ooh. Hey, what up, Dave? Welcome to the party. Ooh, that's real. What did Nelly say? Number 2 is not a winner, and 3 nobody remembers. I am number 1. Just go for it. Maybe you land at 1.5. Fake numbers. We'll get to it. Alright, let's see. So now we got grow your mindset. So how could we grow our mindset? Because we know the mindset is the fertile soil that grows the seeds of skills and development within our life. How can we grow said thing? Are there sports you always assume that you're bad at? Well, maybe you are, but then maybe you aren't. It's not something that you can know until you've put a lot of effort. Some of the world's best athletes didn't start out being that hot. If you have passion for a sport, put in the effort and see. I support those thoughts. Y'all want to shoot some pool with me? Come on, bring that self. Let's get this growth. Let's get some pool action. I will also tap in on golf as well, but I got to find the rest of my clubs. They're in one of the storages. Moving forward. Sometimes being exceptionally endowed is a curse. These athletes may stay in a fixed mindset and not cope with the adversity. Is there a sport that came easily to you until you hit a wall? Try on the growth mindset and go for it again. Yeah, no, that's a good question. Anyone in the chat, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Zoom, anyone in the chat, was there anything that you tried? You got to a point where you were like, alright, I'm borderline competent at this, like, I can do it. But then you were like, and this is where I bow out. Let's see, where was I? I didn't completely bow out. But golf, bowling, it's been a while since I bowled, but I do have my balls and I am ready. I have both of them in hand. I think that's the proper pun, kind of intended. But you get the gist, because I got a strike ball, and then I got the second form of Wing Chun. Ooh, now that sounds exciting. I'm not going to lie. Wing Chun sounds really fun. Let me know where you found some Wing Chun classes and a good teacher, because I might have to slide into a session or 5.
No, do you mean like bowed out for and just stop forever, or do you mean just bowed out for the day?
Bowed out and have not gone back to it.
Oh, I gotta think. I'm sure there's countless examples of that in my life, but I gotta think about it.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
I got many of them where like, okay, today's not it. Let me go out another day. I think maybe teaching middle school.
Okay.
Will come to mind. It's like, yeah, I'm good.
There's so many transitions in middle school.
Like it's way too many. Like just you can't win, and I mean you can win. I'm not saying you can't win, but in my head I'm like I can't win. Let me just teach high school.
That fixed mindset coming in strong. Oh my gosh, we'll push it away.
Yeah.
I'm with it. I couldn't even say bowling and golf because I have gone to the range this year. I haven't bowled this year though.
That was a bowl. I don't know. I want to practice putting spin on it. because I've never really gotten down into the spinning.
It's easier with your own ball. I will say that. And a lot of those wild, crazy hooks and stuff you see where the ball rides the gutter, and then comes back and like strikes, skagaladow. That's my sound effect. Skagaladow. Explosion. Those are special made balls. Like, you can, the core inside the ball helps it to spin a certain way, and depending on the core you can get the spin more easily. Now, can you add a spin to a straight ball? Yes. Is it challenging? Yes. I'm a curver. I ride the gutter till the last minute, and then it just comes in and goes, ooh, we're right here on the edge. We're right here on the edge. That's me. I enjoy it. And I like to make it wait till the last second. I quit racing, basketball, baseball, and IT. So many. I don't know if you quit IT, my guy. I'm going to be honest. Because what you're doing is pretty great. I'm going to ask you to keep it up. Let's see. Anyone else? What y'all start doing?
Yeah, Brett's not quitting. No, you got work to do. You got work to do for some week.
See?
Brett.
You ain't going nowhere, Brent. It ain't happening. You ain't quitting IT. We ain't letting it happen. Bro. Alright. Let's see. Where we at?
Right now.
He said, I ain't working for the man no more. I'll take that. Alright, character is an important concept in the sports world, and it comes out of a growth mindset. Think about times you need to reach down deep inside difficult sports matches. Think about the growth mindset champions from the chapter and how they do it. What could you do the next time to make sure you're in a growth mindset in a pinch? What could you do to make sure you're not in a to make sure you are in a growth mindset? See if I can hear the mindset that I'm speaking, because words are impactful. Words are so powerful. What's up, Dumrosa? So yeah, if hearing the mindset, I think that'd be important to see if I'm speaking limiting, if I'm speaking about things that were fixed or given, or if I'm thinking about a way to accumulate whatever it is I'm trying to accumulate or am accumulating. Last one. Athletes with a growth mindset find success in learning and improving, not just winning. I'm gonna run that one back. What up, Melanie? Athletes with a growth mindset find success in learning and improving, not just winning. The more you can do this, the more rewarding sports will be for you and for those who play them with you. I support those thoughts, because I be playing, when we be shooting pool, so it's on a ranking scale. I understand pool is not like something that most people will say, oh, I'm tired. It is Tuesday Eve, Monday night. And you know what? I'll go find a billiards table. Most people, that's not coming in their mindset. So I'll give you a little details on how it works. So there's a ranking system. It's a scale of 1 being the lowest and a scale of 7 being the highest. 7 is like a pro. You're like ridiculous. Each number has like skill sets that the other ones don't have. Maybe it's shooting defense. What? There's defense in pool? Exactly. Maybe it's other fun things like those really cool trick shots that you see where the ball like bounces all around and then goes in the pocket. And they were like, yeah, I meant to do that. Yeah. People can actually mean to do that. So, I am a 3. Just below average. Right? I like to play 6s and 7s. I really like to play 6s and 7s. kick my ass every time. But then they always want to talk about, you could have did this the other time. They're always trying to show me shots. So I don't care if I win. I don't. Because I'm not even expecting to beat them. I'm just expecting to get a few tips and tricks. Oh, you say hit it bottom left so it don't scratch in these situations. Boop, bottom left. Oh, it didn't scratch. Now I won this game. As opposed to losing when it doesn't even matter. That's how you can win in the pinch. Learn from your lessons. Turn those L's into blessings. Dum dum dum. Alright. Whew. Now we're on the business part. Y'all ready for this? I wasn't. But now I am. Are we good on Facebook? Facebook still coming through? It looks like it is. It is? Egg salad. What about YouTube? Yes!
We got all over.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah! Alright. That's exciting. Business, mindset, and leadership. Enron in the talent mindset. Enron. Y'all know what happened with Enron. Right? Alright, that's all I'm going to say. They might get into it. Enron in the talent mindset. In 2001 came an announcement. What was that? I thought I heard something. Who trying to tap in? Oh, that's AI. Fair enough, AI. Sending messages. Alright. In 2001 came an announcement that shocked the corporate world. InWorld, the corporate poster child, the company of the future, had gone belly up. What happened? How did such spectacular promise turn into such a spectacular disaster? Was it incompetence? Was it corruption? Hey, what up, Scrap? What's good with you? It was a mindset. According to Malcolm Gladwell, writing in the New Yorker, American corporations have become obsessed with talent. Indeed, the gurus at McKinsey and Company, the premier managing consulting firm in the country, were insisting that corporate success today requires the talent of mindset. Just as the naturals are in sports, they maintained there are naturals in business. Just as sports teams writes huge checks to sign outsized talent, so too should corporations spare no expense in recruiting talent, for this is the secret weapon, the key to beating the competition. Oh, alright. The key to beating the comp is pulling in more talent. This sounds like the Washington Redskins. The Commanders. We're the Commanders, apparently. Hey, let's buy all the talent we can. And then, still lose. Let's go DC. Let's go DC. As Gladwell writes, this talent mindset is the new orthodoxy of American management. It created a blueprint for the Enron culture and sowed the seeds of its demise. Enron recruited big talent, mostly people with fancy degrees, which is not in itself so bad. It paid them big money, which is not that terrible, but by putting complete faith in talent, Enron did a fatal thing. It created a culture of worship talent, goodness Lord, thereby forcing its employees to look at the act extraordinarily talented. Basically, it forced them to into the fixed mindset. And we know a lot about that. We know from our studies that people with the fixed mindset do not admit and correct their deficiencies. Rather, remember the study where they interviewed students from the University of Hong Kong, where everything is in English. Students with the fixed mindset were so worried about appearing deficient that they refused to take the course that would improve their English. They did not live in a psychological world where they could take the risk. And remember how we put students into a fixed mindset by praising their intelligence, much as Enron had done with its star employees. Later, after that, hard problems were asked to the students to write a letter to someone in another school describing their experience in our study. When we read the letters, we were shocked. Almost 40% of them had lied about their scores, always in the upward direction. The fixed mindset had made the flaw intolerable. What's up, Jolene? And I support this. When you start going by straight talent, that's a little rough. But I heard something else about Enron and their scam, and that's why their demise happened, as opposed to hiring talented people to take over. Maybe those talented people implemented the scam. Who knows? Moving forward. Anyone has any, if you're in the Zoom room and you know something about this Enron situation, please tap in. I would love to hear some info on this. Alright. Gladwell concludes that the people live in an environment that esteems them for their innate talent. They have grave difficulty when their image is threatened. They will not take the remedial. They will not take the remedial course. They will not stand up to investors in the public and admit that they were wrong. They'd sooner lie. Obviously, a company that cannot self-correct cannot thrive. If Enron was done in by its fixed mindset, does it follow that companies that thrive have a growth mindset? Let us see. Organizations that grow. Let's see what grows. Scoot on up here. Jim Collins sets out to discover what made some companies move from being good to being great. What was it that allowed them to make the leap to greatness and stay there, while other comparable companies just held steady at good? To answer this question, he and his research team embarked on a 5-year study. They selected 11 companies whose stock returns had skyrocketed relative to other companies in their industry, and who had maintained this edge for at least 15 years. This is a lengthy study. They matched each company to another one in the same industry that had similar resources, but did not make the leap. He also studied a third group of companies, one that had made the leap from good to great, but not to sustain it. What distinguished the thriving companies from the others? There were several important factors, as Colin reports in his book, Good to Great. But one that was absolutely key was the type of leader who, in every case, led the company into greatness. These were not the larger-than-life, charismatic types who oozed ego and self-proclaimed talent. They were self-effacing people who constantly asked questions and had the ability to confront the most brutal answers. That is, it took failures in the face, even their own, while maintaining faith that they would succeed in the end. Failures to the face! Yes! That's how we grow. Yeah. Face planting. Jumi did that a couple times on her way to the park. Shback! She was like, shback! Trying to walk up the slide. Shback! I was like, you're doing good, Jones. I see you getting up. Yeah, dust it off. You can cry a little bit. You can cry. You don't even want to cry when I say you can cry. See? Come on, let's get it. See? Alright. Does this sound familiar? Collins wonders why his effective leaders have these particular qualities, and why these qualities go together the way they do, and how these leaders came to acquire them. But we know they have the growth mindset. They believe in human development, and these are hallmarks. They're not constantly trying to prove they're better than others. For example, they don't highlight the pecking order with themselves at the top. They don't claim credit from other people's contributions. They don't undermine others to feel powerful. Instead, they're constantly trying to improve. They surround themselves with the most able people they can find. They look squarely at their own mistakes and deficiencies, and they ask frankly what skills they and the company will need in the future. And because of this, they can move forward with confidence that's grounded in their facts, not built on fantasies about their talent. Okay. Collins reports that Alan Wurzel, the CEO of the giant electronics chain Circuit City, held debates in his boardroom. Rather than simply trying to impress his board of directors, he used them to learn. With this exclusive team as well, he questioned, debated, prodded, until he slowly gained a clearer picture of where the company was and where he needed it to go. They used to call me the prosecutor because I would hone in on a question. Wurzel to Collins, like a bulldog. I wouldn't let it go until I understood why. Wurzel considered himself a plow horse, a hard-working, no-nonsense, normal kind of guy. But he took a company that was close to bankruptcy, and over the next 15 years turned it into one that delivered the highest total return in its stockholders of any of the New York Stock Exchange. Bum bum bum. I like this. Talking about leadership and business. Such an appropriate time. Let's read further. A study of mindset in management decisions. Can you see the mindset through the management decisions? Absolutely. Let's see how. Robert Wood and Albert Bandura did a fascinating study with graduate students in business, many of whom had management expertise. In their study, they created Enron-type managers and Wurzel-type managers by putting people in different mindsets. Wood and Bandura gave these budding business leaders a complex management task in which they had to run a simulated organization, a furniture company. In this computerized task, they had to place employees in the right jobs and decide how best to guide and motivate these workers. I like this. To discover the best ways, they had to keep revising their decisions based on the feedback they got about the employees' productivity. The researchers divided the business students into two groups. One was given a fixed mindset. They were told that the tasks measured their basic underlying capabilities. The higher their capacity, the better their performance. The other group was given the growth mindset. They were told that management skills were developed through practice and that each task would give them the opportunity to cultivate these skills. These tasks were hard because students were given high production standards to meet, and especially in the early attempts, they fell short. As at Enron, those with the fixed mindset did not profit from their mistakes. But those with the growth mindset kept learning. Not worried about measuring or protecting their fixed abilities, they looked directly at their mistakes and used them as feedback, and altered their strategies accordingly. They became better and better at understanding how to deploy and motivate their workers, and their productivity kept pace. In fact, they ended up way more productive than those with the fixed mindset. What's more, throughout this rather grueling task, they maintained a healthy sense of confidence. They operated like Alan Wurzel. Leadership and the fixed mindset. So if you're leading people and you got a fixed mindset, I'm going to let you know now. You're going to put them in some precarious situations. Yeah. Precarious situations. Let's see. Alright, let's see what they say. In contrast to Alan Wurzel, I already read that. No, I didn't. In contrast to Alan Wurzel and the leaders of Collins's comparison companies had every symptom of the fixed mindset writ large. Fixed mindset leaders, like fixed mindset people in general, live in a world where some people are superior and some people are inferior. They must repeatedly affirm that they are superior, and the company is simply a platform for this. Collins' comparison leaders were typically concerned with their reputations for personal greatness, so much so that they often set the company up to fail when their regimen ended. As Collins puts it, after all, what better testament to your own personal greatness than that the place falls apart after you leave? Ooh, I'm gonna run that one back one more time. After all, what better testament to your own personal greatness than that the place falls apart after you leave?
I actually don't think that way.
Please tell me more.
Yeah, I think that.
For the record.
Come
I
on.
don't think that way at all.
Please
I
share.
think that it's the mark of a good employee to work themselves out of a job. I think that one of the best examples of bad leaders are these types of people in churches. If you've been doing the same job in the church for 40 years, what that means to me is that you've had at least 20 years to pass on your knowledge to somebody who could have done it better and you haven't.
Ooh. I'm gonna take a sip on that one.
For me, I judge my leadership based on people who pass on their knowledge or equip others to work without them or work themselves out of a job or, so what's all this dependency on, what's all this ego about? I mean, come on.
I like that.
After you leave?
I like that counter.
Did you rig it? Did you rig the system? Was you really doing your job or were you doing the job you wanted to do? Were you making the best for you? Or are you making the best for everybody? Like, there's so many. I cannot get behind that.
Well, I'll say this.
I cannot get behind that.
If you have a niche job and it takes time to be able to fill those shoes, and then you just so happen to depart, and things just so happen to.
Nothing is impossible. I'm not saying it's impossible. I mean, obviously, if things fall apart when you leave, you were essential in some way. However, to say what better testament, well, a better testament would have been for it not to. If a better testament would have been everybody there coming together and speaking highly of you and how you trained them and equipped them to survive without you. That's a better testament.
Yeah.
A testimony. An actual word of mouth testimonial is better than it falling apart.
Think about being a parent. You raise the kid so when you walk away, the kid survives. Yeah. It's like, whew, my job here is done. They came back in one piece. No one kidnapped them. Like, they didn't do anything stupid. I'm not getting, arrested from their actions. Oh, one more day. Good work.
Sadhguru is you live in a way that, when you're living, you're good. When you're gone, you're good. It's if you're entangled with everything, it's if you're there, you're a problem. If you're gone, you're a problem. It's you're just entangling yourself in the system, yeah.
Nah, I feel that, and I like your word selection when you said, Tony, when you said that what better testament, because that's what was said. Not what is a good one or what is a. What better? Well, I can find one. You creating this.
And it was smug. It was. It said, after all, what better testament to your own personal greatness? Yeah, it was smug.
No, I think it was sarcastic.
Yeah.
No, I think she was dead ass on that. I mean, we all just speaking out our ass. We don't know what she thought. Okay.
I'm going to Google. Let's see, this is college. I'll look it up.
I feel like that the point of that was to be clearly, if you leave and it all falls apart, you didn't build something great.
Well, it's not about building something great, but it's more so a testament to your contribution to the thing that ended up being great. And if the thing isn't able
Like,
to sustain,
you weren't able to create something like a living, something that had legs. So, like, I'm gonna give her the benefit that I think she was being sarcastic, but it doesn't matter either way.
give her the
That's how I take
Benny.
it.
You drop her the Benny. Two of us are like, nah, we're not giving her the Benny. But I'm glad one of us is on her side.
Yeah.
Let's see. Alright. In more than 2/3 of these leaders, the researchers saw a gargantuan personal ego that either hastened the demise of the company or kept it second rate. One such leader was Lee Iacocca, head of Chrysler, who achieved a miraculous turnaround for his company, then spent so much time grooming his fame that the second half of his tenure, the company plunged back into mediocrity. And then there's that. Many of these comparison companies operated on what Collins calls a genius with 1,000 helpers model. Instead of building an extraordinary management team like the good to great companies, they operated with the fixed mindset premise that great geniuses do not need great teams. They just need little helpers to help carry out their brilliant ideas. That is garbage. You need a phenomenal team. A team that works together, because that's when we get exactly what we was just talking about. One person leaves and the entire ship crashes.
African proverb: if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. Strongly support those thoughts, because you're only thinking about you when it's just you. It's easy to handle you. It's a little bit harder to handle you and another. Alright, let's see. But the reward when you gotta be around good people that you ain't gotta handle, they can handle themselves. Y'all just add a little bit of spice to it. Pow, pow, pow. The pot's gonna be delicious in a minute. Don't forget that these great geniuses don't want great teams either. Fixed mindset people want to be the only big fish so that when they compare themselves to those around them, they can feel a cut above the rest. In not only autobiography of a fixed mindset CEO did I read much about mentoring or employee development programs. That's what you were saying, Tony. In every growth mindset autobiography, there was a deep concern with the personal development and the extensive discussion of it. Finally, as with Enron, the geniuses refused to look at their deficiencies, says Collins. The good to great Kroger grocery chain looked bravely at the danger signs in the 1970s, signs that the old-fashioned grocery store was becoming extinct. Meanwhile, its counterpart A&P, once the largest retailing organization in the world, shuts its eyes, for example. When A&P opened a new kind of store, a superstore, it had seemed to be more successful than the old kind. They closed it down. It was not what they wanted to hear. In contrast, Kroger eliminated or changed every single store that did not fit the new superstore model by the end of the 1990s. It had become the #1 groceries chain in the country. Bum bum bum. Hey, what up, Karma Yogi? Where we at? Ooh. Okay, last one, because it's short. Okay, it's short. CEOs and the big egos. Right? Now you see why we kind of gotta do this one. This little quick part. We here. It's happening. CEOs and the big egos. How did CEO and gargantuan ego become synonymous? If it's more self-effacing, growth-minded people who are the true shepherds of industry, why are so many companies out looking for larger-than-life leaders? Even when these leaders may, in the end, be more committed to themselves than to the company. Blame Iacocca. According to James Surowiecki, writing in Slate, Iacocca's rise to prominence was a turning point for American business. Before him, the days of tycoons and moguls seemed long past. In the public mind, CEO meant a buttoned-down, organized man, well-treated and well-paid, but essentially bland and characterless. With Iacocca, all that changed. Business journalists began dubbing executives the next J.P. Morgan or the next Henry Ford, and fixed mindset executives started vying for those labels. Soroweski even traces in recent corporate scandals to this change, for the trend continued. CEOs became superheroes, but the people who preen their egos and look for the next self-image boost are not the same people who foster long-term corporate health. Maybe Iacocca is just a charismatic guy with a rock and roll is being blamed for the demise of the civilization. Maybe Iacocca is just a charismatic guy who, like rock and roll, is being blamed for the demise of the civilization. Is that fair? Let's look at him a little bit more closely. And let's look at this other fixed mindset CEOs. Albert Dunlap of Scott Paper and Sunbeam, Jerry Levin and Steve Case of AOL, Time Warner, and Kenneth Lay and Jeffrey Skills of Enron. You'll see they all start with the belief that some people are superior, that they all need to prove and display their superiority. They all have their subordinates to feed this need rather than fostering the development of their workers. And they all end up sacrificing their companies to this need. The fixed mindset helps us understand where gargantuan egos come from, how they operate, and why they become self-defeating. Next one, which we're going to do on next Monday, fixed mindset leaders in action. Iacocca, I am a hero. Oh. Albert Dunlap, I am a superstar. And that's all the ones we're going to get with the prefix. Anyway. Yeah, no, that was good today. That was good. We are on page 114. We cooking right through. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Wow. Whew. That was some fun stuff. Questions, comments, want to work on something, let me know. I gotta let y'all know. Appreciate you, Payoga Universe. Appreciate you, Brent LV. Glad to have you vibing with us, Jen. We also had Dale in the room. Man, I'd like to thank Yogi, Urban Yogic Wellness and Education, where we're restructuring health and wellness in the community, one healthy habit at a time. I'd like to thank Lifeform because I appreciate y'all. Hopefully I see y'all sponsoring us next month so we can continue to get this message out, continue to help people and give them the information they need so they can have this personal development and this self-growth without overfilling their ego, like we was just talking about. What else is there? Monday night we have the book club. Tuesday we have virtual led primary with your boy. Wednesday we have elevated yoga with the G. Thursday, bi-weekly, we have restorative yoga. Monday through Friday you can catch me at Sun and Moon Yoga with the Mysore portion of the practice. You can catch me at That Yoga Life inside Sun and Moon Yoga with the movement portion of the practice. What else is there? We got Saturday, a float and flow from 10:30 in the Amtrak. Sunday, we got elevated yoga. We making it happen. It's a whole bunch, y'all. Come on, vibe with us. Make sure to check into the UE Daily Accountability. You can get your movement and your meditation in there. And your breath work. Just go on, meditate, vote, share, get your entries for the daily meditation accountability. Alright, social medias, we off this joint. Let me close these socials. Stop